A popular Tacoma park has a new name. Children will soon be heading back to school, and the community came together for National Night Out. All that and more coming up next on Tacoma Report. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. I'm Angie Foster. The Tacoma Fire Department has long been a leader in efforts to recruit a diverse workforce. Tacoma's first female firefighter, Eileen Lewis, joined TFD in 1981 and eventually became fire chief in the year 2000. And under Lewis's leadership, Fire Station Number 10 gained national attention for having one of the first all-female firefighting crews in the nation. Today, 13.4% of Tacoma Fire's uniformed staff are women. That's far above the national average of 5%. So with such a diverse department in history, it was time to acknowledge the department's work by renaming Fireman's Park in downtown Tacoma to Firefighters Park.
Tacoma Fire Department has been working to meet our organizational-wide goal of having employees who reflect the diversity of Tacoma. Part of this work has included efforts to increase the representation of women in the TFD workforce. By renaming this park today, we acknowledge this work and align the name of this public park with the city's goals of equity, diversity, and inclusion.
The renaming of this park symbolizes a lot in this community and in our department. It symbolizes our commitment to inclusivity as a city and our fire department, and I am incredibly proud of that.
Tacoma has always been a trailblazer for diversity. Look at the two leaders that stand beside me. That should speak for itself. We are so proud to be here today. The renaming of this park may not seem like much, but it carries great weight for the Tacoma firefighters. For us, the renaming of the park only furthers the values that we hold as Tacoma firefighters and further exemplifies the values that the great city of Tacoma prides itself on.
Along with the new name, Firefighters Park has recently undergone many improvements, from landscaping to art installation, and it's a wonderful destination when downtown. The City of Tacoma's Planning and Development Services is now offering, by appointment only, limited in-person meetings. These will be available every Tuesday between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. This is an opportunity to meet with the permit specialist team to drop off permit documents or make payments by check, cash, or credit card at the Tacoma Municipal Building. If you would like to schedule an in-person appointment, please visit Planning and Development Services online or call and staff can assist with scheduling. This service is limited to dropping off documents and making payments. If you have other needs or questions you'd like to discuss, please visit tacomapermits.org/contact us. The City of Tacoma has broken ground and is preparing to install a Tacoma Emergency Microshelter site at South 69th and Proctor Street. This is the fourth time the city has established a TIM site and will be one of 2 active locations. The site could have up to 70 units and will provide basic facilities including a kitchen, water, electricity, garbage, and bathrooms. To learn how you can help address homelessness, visit the city's webpage. The goal of the City of Tacoma's Safe Routes to Schools program is to support and encourage students and their families to walk and roll to school. This is done through education like bike camps and encouragement events like Walk to School Day.
The program also recognizes that not everyone feels safe walking in their neighborhood for a variety of reasons, and that work needs to be done to create a safe and accessible city for us all. As funding becomes available, the city works with the school and the community to identify infrastructure improvements that would make it more safe to walk and roll in a neighborhood.
A school zone is an area near or along a school walking route that would have the presence of a child walking or rolling to school. With students heading back to in-person learning this fall, the program has tips for drivers to remember when entering school zones.
When the school zone beacons are flashing, drivers must slow down and drive a maximum of 20 miles per hour. Additionally, in that school zone, there is most likely a school crossing. and it's important for drivers to pay attention and stop for people trying to cross the street. The most important thing for drivers to remember is that drivers play a huge role in creating a city that is safe for children to walk or roll to school. Driver behavior affects how people feel when walking or rolling in their neighborhood.
In addition, parents who drop children off are encouraged to follow the school's arrival and dismissal traffic plan. This helps create a safe environment around the school as well. Working together, the community can help keep the children of Tacoma safe as they walk and roll to school. With the start of school just around the corner, it's important that students have their immunizations up to date. That's especially important this year since students will be back learning in the classroom.
A law was passed and implemented last year, but because of the pandemic, no kids were in school, so it really wasn't enforced. So this is the first year of kids going back in person, where the new law clarifies that you need to be up to date with your immunizations by the first day of school, not the 30 days later. So what could happen, and it's up to individual school districts and principals to decide, but you risk your child not being able to come to school if they are not up to date with their vaccinations, or their other option is for them to sign an exemption form. But of course, we would recommend that parents get their children up to date so they can start school on time. So the risk is that they could potentially be excluded from going to school if they're not up to date on their vaccinations by the first day of school.
During the pandemic, vaccination rates for children dropped. Washington State is starting to recover, but officials say we need to do better.
We're still fairly behind in percentage of kids up to date with their vaccinations. In all of Washington, we're down about 28%. The good news in Pierce County, we're only about 20% below pre-pandemic levels of vaccination, but that still means we have about 20% of kids who are not fully up to date. And we know things that are highly contagious, like measles. If kids are not getting their second measles booster before going to kindergarten, we could be, at risk for another measles outbreak like we had in 2019.
More information on the importance of back-to-school vaccinations can be found by going to the Washington State Department of Health website. A colorful collaboration between Heritage Hilltop Middle School and Tacoma Public Utilities makes a one-of-a-kind art gallery in the 6th Avenue Business District, as Annie Pansky reports.
With each stroke,
we're creating a lotus.
Each dip,
The sun brings a lot of hope to people.
each color,
I feel like it might simulate maybe some change for the butterflies.
a story unfolds on a Tacoma Power utility pole.
The world needs peace and love.
These aren't professional artists, they're Heritage Hilltop Middle School students.
Show your love to other people when they need it.
Kids are smarter than we give them credit for and more empathetic than we give them credit for. They have all of these things to say, but we just don't always listen.
Summer school teacher Mike DeVos says this is the first time many of these kids have been able to get together outside creating in over a year. And it's all because 6th Ave Business District, Tacoma Power, and Heritage Hilltop Middle School work together.
Just great to bring the community out here and just really build that connection.
The connection starts with the utility poles along 6th Ave. Business District President John Walters wanted to define and unite this stretch of restaurants and shops.
So that when people come into this district, they see that there's a branding going through.
He heard of other communities decorating power poles, and the added benefits found were a sell, deterred tagging, even increased pedestrian safety.
Drivers, and I'm one, when they start seeing a difference in the landscape on the side of the street, they actually slow down naturally.
While at first they considered tapping local artists, Walters says the district, known for its love of arts, wanted to make a statement.
Art comes from all ages. It's not just from professional artists. It comes from, middle school students, everybody.
With Tacoma Power's help, messages of love, hope, and even butterflies of change are now lining 6th Ave.
They're so unique. Every one of them is so different, and it just has, each child's touch of love to it.
Jennifer Collins Ramos represented Tacoma Power, working with the school and the business district to create the pilot. She says is one of those dream projects that unites and excites everyone.
When we do get the opportunity to do something fun like this, We really jumped to it.
From research on types of paint to adding the primer, Tacoma Power crews work to get the pools ready for the 30 student artists.
This is very unique to 6th Ave, so we'll see if anybody else tries to pick it up.
It's part of the utility's commitment to supporting the local community, she says. And if it helps with vandalism, it's a win-win.
Yeah, I know 6th Ave has had some issues with tagging recently, so hopefully this deters the tagging, and those that are tagging will just allow the students' art to be out there.
It's time for everyone to listen, says DeVos.
This is a great way for adults to see what the kids are thinking.
These utility poles now define much more than just the business district. For Tacoma Report, Annie Pansky in Tacoma.
Funding to purchase paint and supplies for the students came from the City of Tacoma's Innovative Grant. If the pilot becomes a program, other Tacoma business districts will be able to apply for the ability to paint utility poles in their jurisdiction. The Tacoma Police Department mingled with the community during this year's National Night Out. Millions of neighbors take part in National Night Out across America on the first Tuesday in August. The event is an annual community building event that promotes police-community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie. It focuses on making neighborhoods safer and provides an opportunity for officers and the public to build a mutual understanding. Neighborhoods host block parties, festivals, parades, cookouts, and various other community events. This year, L Street Neighbors block leader May Harris presented Assistant Chief Taylor and Captain Stringer with awards for the department's service. To view pictures of this year's event, visit the Tacoma Police Department's Facebook page. Recently, the Tacoma Police Department hosted Axon Enterprises Incorporated for a roadshow of the company's products. Axon Enterprises is the maker of the department's body-worn cameras and tasers. Providing access to the technology, the department was able to provide the media and other law enforcement agencies an opportunity to see the equipment in action. The department's aim was to show the public what equipment is in use and illustrate the critical thinking and split-second decision-making skills needed to perform at a top level. It also gives the department's officers a chance to use virtual reality as a training tool.
One of our values at the Tacoma Police Department is innovate to better serve. We're really excited to have our officers have this opportunity to try out virtual reality training, which fits right in with that value, and we always want to provide the best service possible to our community.
By evaluating different types of equipment, the department also aims to make wise purchasing decisions to make the most of taxpayer money. By evaluating equipment in a setting like this, the department can evaluate several tools at once to determine how best they can serve the public. Also, by inviting surrounding agencies, the department can help illustrate the types of equipment in use, since law enforcement agencies often work hand in hand in neighboring jurisdictions. To learn more about the Tacoma Police Department, visit tacomapolice.com. Tacoma Public Utilities hits it out of the park with the Rainiers, receiving more than $2,700 for their Senior Assistance Fund. $5 donations were a part of special ticket sales for TPU Night with the Rainiers on Friday, August 13th. 549 tickets were purchased, bringing the grand total donation of $2,763. Tacoma Public Utilities Customer Solutions staff will use the money collected to help local seniors who struggle to pay their utility bills. And finally, the fall edition of EnviroTalk is arriving in customers' mailboxes, but residents can also view this edition online. This issue includes a feature on the Thea Foss Revitalization Project, gives an update on multifamily recycling, and features a recipe for a comforting, yummy batch of chicken noodle soup. Also included is a focus on fall tree maintenance and a how-to on composting. Visit the EnviroTalk webpage to view this edition online today. That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report. A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. Until next time, I'm Angie Foster. Thanks for watching.